good afternoon to everyone present here. I, Yashita, a student of second year BA LLB, on the behalf of CMR University School of Legal Studies, bid a very warm welcome to all the dignitaries who took out their valuable time and joined us today on this auspicious occasion for the inauguration of the Center for International Legal Studies. We are honored to have you with us. I would like to commence this session by stating a striking and captivating words of Martin Luther King Jr., who once said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." And this security, which he spoke of, can only be attained by the development of international law through an international organization based on the principles of law and justice. But hold on, that's not all what's important to know. Moreover, we must remember that whichever government who tries to block or blocks the aspiration of their people, that steal or are corrupt, that oppress and torture, or that which denies the freedom of expression and human rights, should bear in mind that they will find it increasingly hard to escape the judgment of their own people, or where warranted, the reach of international law. After all, we all know it acts as the most powerful weapon for countries to ensure our basic human rights. With that, I believe you all might have figured out, maybe to some extent, the vital role of international law by the previously said words. But be patient. This would comprehensively be covered by our honorable speakers in the following time. Meanwhile, let's briefly understand international law. You know how it came into existence. With the increase in international agreements, engagements, and relations, international law expanded. It grew out of necessity. The development and codification of international law in modern times constituted the legal basis of international relations, and it greatly helped the process of institutionalization of international relations. It is used by every nation as a shield for advocating their right and as a legal weapon for criticizing the demands and policies of other countries. Now, on a lighter tone, putting forward a fun fact, believe it or not, international law is like artificial intelligence, which is everywhere, though we don't generally notice it. And to substantiate my point, I have a fair share of illustration. When we get on a plane and fly to Europe, then the ability to get on a plane and cross the airspace of other countries is all covered by international law and treaties in place. Therefore, treaties are also believed to be the backbone of international law. Coupled with that, customary laws do play a significant role. Now, think about laws of sea, which talks of who can board, where they can cross, and particularly speaking. What actually are these? These are nothing but custom. A custom which eventually got entrenched and then was accepted by all as law. Later on comes a court to adjudicate on the dispute settlement matters. That is popularly known as International Court of Justice, which sits in Hague. And likewise, there are many judicial institutions governing this vast topic. Oh well, that one point which I mentioned above, that is dispute, reminded me of the pressing issues of the 21st century. The world community needs to be ready to face the rapid development of cross-border issues. The more widespread fact is that national issue can develop at any point with no control into an international issue. It is well known by the nations that the boundaries between national issue and international issues are limited and can only be separated by a layer of very thin membrane. Consequently, this has brought an important legal transformation that governs the relationship between the international communities. Thereby, we can understand the tremendous relevance of international law and relations in today's world. All right, that's just one part of a story. And before moving further with any additional ideas on this particular subject, I would like to invite Akshaya from second year LLB to invoke the blessing of God as the formal and traditional start of the inaugural ceremony. Please, Akshaya.
Thank you. गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदैवताय गुरुकुलस्थायिने गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्यप्रवराय गुरवे गुणगुरवे गुरुदैत्यकलक्षेत्रे गुरुसर्वसराराधाय गुरुपुत्रपरित्रात्रे खण्डकाय गीतसाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतगोत्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्फाय गन्धमट्टाय गोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि.
Thank you, Akshaya, for that wonderful and melodious rendition. Now, swiftly moving to the most awaited moment, which we are here for, a big talk about the center. I'm pretty sure that there might be some basic intriguing questions in your mind too, like what is the center and why at all do we need the center? And most importantly, how will it help the students? Let me communicate to you that this center is based on the optimism philosophy, which promotes the strategy for making a better future. Because unless we believe that future can be better, we are unlikely to step up and take the responsibilities for making it so. And you'll be glad to know that the center is committed to the study of emerging area of interest in the public international law. Its mandate is to undertake collaborative research within CMR University and also with other national and international entities, strictly adhering to the essence of its theme. The center designs researches, discussions, lectures, seminars, conferences, and symposium for students as well as the professionals working in the field. All the interested and fortunate students are provided with a virtual publishing platform. And trust me, that's not the end. Socialization of international law is the primary agenda, keeping in mind the fact that the role of international law, which we cannot ignore if the countries of the world want to live in the atmosphere of mutual respect for each other's interest. As a matter of fact, we all know everything is interrelated, isn't it? Hence, this agenda would furthermore act as catalyst in making the students informed and essential members by instilling within them intelligence to understand and examine the existing problems of international law, especially the one which has implications in the global community, and devote their ideas and actions accordingly to free this era from any upcoming detrimental and deadly war which may lead to our extinction. Oh God, I must say, even imagining such bloodshed is really petrifying. But, anyways, these practices would, however, help the center serve this indispensable goal. Stimulated by the ideas above mentioned, this Center for International Legal Studies is started by support of our management authorities, beloved Dean Sir and Vice Principal. Now, progressing further, I would like to invite Professor Srinidhi KR to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, sir.
A very good afternoon to everybody. It is at the outset, I must say that it is a big privilege for me to be standing here delivering this welcome address. And it's a great honor to be speaking on the same forum as this veritable panel of experts on international law. At the outset, it becomes my responsibility to welcome our esteemed panel of guests and speakers today. First and foremost, Professor V.G. Hegde, who is the chairperson of the Center for International Legal Studies of Jawaharlal Nehru University, was kind enough to agree to deliver the keynote address at this occasion of the inauguration of our center. Professor Hegde has been of great support to our institution. In fact, very recently he delivered a spectacular lecture on international law, which has become a great hit amongst most of our students. I welcome you to this event, sir. I would like to further welcome Professor Balakrishna Reddy, who is a registrar and a founding faculty at Nalsar University of Hyderabad, which is one of the premier leading institutions for law in India. Professor Reddy has been a great follower and enthusiast of international law, and he's one of the acknowledged experts in the field from the past 4 decades. I further extend a hearty welcome to Professor Chambi Puranik, who's been one of the great supports for a lot of events here at the CMR University School of Legal Studies. He's he's one of the frequent contributors to our flagship law journal as well. He's currently the academic advisor to GEMS B School, and he's one of the panelists in many of the TV programs that you can see nowadays on many political issues. We would like to also welcome Professor Sandeepa Bhatt, who's been present with us on many occasions. He's been a great support to us with respect to our postgraduate diploma on aviation and space law that we organize. He's addressed many sessions on space law and aviation law, and also international trade laws, addressing all our students. His lectures, which have been delivered here, have gone on to become big hits. We've come to feel you are one of our own, sir, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to this gathering. Further, I would like to welcome our Dean Sir, who has been instrumental in setting up of these centers. It has been a dream of his since the time he's joined CMR University. He's relentlessly worked towards building the academic credibility of the institution to great heights. And this is one of the many different activities and events that we have planned, in making CMR University School of Legal Studies into one of the premier legal institutions in the country. I welcome you to the event, sir. I would further welcome our esteemed members of our management, our Honorable Chairman, Sir, Shri K.C. Ramurthy, who is a Member of Parliament, a former IPS officer. He's been a great support to all of our endeavors. He's never said no to whatever we have proposed in terms of building the credibility of the institution further. I would like to welcome our Chancellor, ma'am, who's also the president of the CMR Gyanadhara Trust, Dr. Sabita Ramurthy, who's been a great leader, a visionary, a female leader, one of the greatest of these generations, you can say. I'd like to further welcome our provost, our CEO, Sri K.R. Jaideep, our Provost, Dr. Krista Ramurthy, who have been of great support in all the events and activities that we conduct here at the CMRU School of Legal Studies. I would like to further extend a very warm welcome to the administrative authorities of our university, led by our very dynamic registrar, Dr. R. Praveen, who is always there as a constant source of strength and support. He's a pillar of strength. We draw strength from you in everything that we do, sir. I would further like to welcome Dr. C.M. Bhaskar Reddy, our Pro Vice Chancellor, who's our guiding light, who's guided us in organizing many of these events, and he's always there for us. I welcome you too, sir. Our Dean Academics, Dr. Suja Bennett, has been offered a very kind support in every event that we conduct. I would like to welcome you too, ma'am. I would further like to welcome our Vice Principal, Professor Praneshwaran, who's always there with respect to handling all our administrative issues and solving all our problems at all times. I would also like to welcome all our faculty, our students, our administrative and support staff to this event. I would be lax if I forget to mention at this point of time all the other deans and directors of our sister institutions. We have 8 schools under CMR University. All deans and directors of the sister concerns, our other CMR sister institutions like CMR IT and the AKR schools. I welcome you all. I welcome all the faculty of all the sister concerns and students as well. Thank you.